The transition between leaving our school community and entering real life is daunting and creates an overwhelming sense of nervousness. But what is it that makes the transition so intimidating, and must it be this way? When in reality, it is just another phase of our vast lives which we inevitably encounter. As a teenager, it is easy to become confused by the bombardment of advice coming from all different angles, which makes the final decision-making process harder than it should be. We have to decide what is more important, doing something we're happy doing or making a good living, or working to create a balance between the two. This is quite a difficult and serious question that teenagers are expected to find an answer to. We interviewed a variety of people for their opinions on this issue. Here's what they had to say. Is life after high school something you're afraid of? If so, why?
For me personally, I'm not scared about life after school because it's something I've always looked forward to. To me, school is a big part of my life, and you make most of your friends for your life and your best mates there, but I think branching out to the world is something that I've always looked forward to, and life after school for me is a big deal. I've always wanted to pursue a career based around music and the music industry. So I think it'll be really interesting to go out into the world. I'm not really scared because slowly in year 11 and 12 you start to, go into society a bit more, and you start to go away on holidays by yourself, and you start to taste what life is by yourself. The security of school does scare a lot of people. A lot of my friends are scared to leave school because they don't have security of something to do. They can go into the world and they can start working themselves, and I think that is scary to a degree, but going to university sort of eases that a tad, and I just can't wait to go out there. School's sort of been a big part of my life, as I said. It's taken up 8 whole years for high school and a bit of the junior school at most, and I think that time's over, and I'm really excited and eager to go out into the world and face the challenges ahead.
Yeah, I think that life after high school is pretty scary and intimidating because of all the uncertainties it comes with. Like, when you're at high school, you have like all the security and you know what you're going to be doing every day, but especially when you don't exactly know what you want to do after high school, or if you're not exactly sure, I guess that's what kind of scares you about the future.
What do you think is more important, doing something you're happy doing or making a good living?
Well, the ultimate goal in life is to be happy, so it's a bit stupid to go for a job which just earns a high amount of money if you're not really enjoying it. I'm always going to go for a job that I enjoy. Like I said, I want to work with music, so obviously you don't get paid a lot, and if you do, it's very rare that you do. So I think for me, and a lot of people I do know, it's about finding a job you do like doing. If you do get paid well, that's just a bonus, but I sort of look down on people which sort of chase money if they're not really enjoying their job, because at the end of the day you're not going to be happy because you spend a lot of your time working, obviously. So if you're doing a job you don't enjoy, what does that reflect on the rest of your life, your friends, your family? Not a very strong attitude or a good attitude, because you're just going to be shitty half the time.
I think that the most important thing is to do something that you're happy doing, because if you're doing something that pays a lot of money but you don't enjoy doing it, then I guess there's not really any point to it. And if you're doing something that you're happy doing, then the money and all that other stuff doesn't really matter anymore.
Do you think that these days there is too much pressure placed on high school students on making decisions about their future?
No, I don't think there's too much pressure on students today. In fact, I think there's probably less pressure than there was when I was going through school some 20 odd years ago. Perhaps there's more pressure to do better at school. Today the trend is definitely to go to university, where previously a lot more students went off and did trades. So definitely the pressure to get good results, but the trend today, a lot of people take a gap year, which really relieves a lot of that pressure to decide what it is that you're going to do. Gives you a bit of time to get out there, see the real world and think about it. So yeah, overall I'd say there's probably less pressure to make a decision about what it is you're going to do before you actually leave school. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of pressure placed on Year 12 students when making decisions about the future. At the time that we're expected to make all these decisions, we receive advice from absolutely everyone, our teachers, our parents and people around us, and there's just so much advice coming from all different directions, and it can be bombarding, and we may be forced into making decisions that we may not be entirely happy with.
After hearing a variety of opinions, it makes the transition from high school to the real world less daunting, now that we know that we are not alone in the difficulty of decision making. In the end, we should do what makes us happiest and not give in to the pressures of others and what is expected of us. Because as teenagers, we are meant to enjoy life and just take the future as it comes.